Well, first of all, welcome on behalf of the Greensboro City Council. I'm so glad everybody's here. I think this is a really critical conversation to be having in a city that is so known for our movement in civil rights realms. For me, this is particularly personally important. In November, I became our first openly gay elected city council member. And if you ask me, I'd say that happened about 75 years too late, because we've always been a part of this community. I was driving over here this morning, I was thinking about something, and I was thinking about the back of my badge. And on the back of it, one of the four kind of tenets of who we are as a city, one of the words that's on there is respect. And I'm just going to tell you a really brief story about why that particular word and this particular training, I think, means so much. I had a conversation with somebody, and it was a pretty passionate conversation as I was getting married. And their response was, I know that you think that's okay, but my religion tells me that it's not okay. That is not what the Bible says. And they went on to talk about what they believe about same-sex relationships. They didn't even come close to talking about transgender issues, but we certainly were talking about same-sex marriage and same-sex relationships and LGBTQ equality. And it was tense, right? And one of the things I thought about is when you're talking about somebody's faith, no amount of facts I give or no amount of opinions I have is going to touch a person's belief system, their faith system. And so this conversation went on for a long time, and it was really, really heated. And at the end of the conversation, the resolution was, I'm going to believe what I'm going to believe, and you're going to believe what you're going to believe. And how many of y'all have had conversations like that? Everybody, every day, right? But what was most interesting about that conversation is it was with my mother. I am really, really close to my parents. In fact, I talk to my mom every day, which I'm not sure is okay when you're 43 years old, but I'll keep it. But we're really, really close, and we talk about everything. And the one thing, the giant elephant in the room, has always been my sexual orientation. And we, a long time ago, understood that my mother comes from one place and I come from another place as it relates to that, and we can't ever get to really full agreement around it. But what we can get to is that we have deep, deep love for each other. I'm her oldest daughter. She's my mother. And more importantly, what we have is a lot of respect for each other. So I would say that whether you come to a training like this and you walk out of this room and you fully embrace the idea that everybody, regardless of sexual orientation or gender expression or gender identity, deserves every right that everybody else does, that would be where I come from. Or you walk out and you say, you know, I still don't get this. I'm still not quite sure. Not sure that I really understand or I really get it or it makes a lot of sense to me or whatever. What I believe is that everybody in this room and everybody that works for the city of Greensboro has the ability and, more importantly, the responsibility to respect all members of our community. And that's the key to it, right? So I would hope that at the end of this, I know this will be an amazing training. I've heard really great things about it. I'm excited for what's happening here. And I hope that we walk out of here understanding that there's an interconnectedness between all of us. Most people know me because of my work at the IRC. And I've never been homeless. But I know a lot about it, and I spend a lot of time with people that are. And it's really, really important to me. I've also never been black. I mean, I know y'all are surprised to look up here and realize. But I'm deeply involved in racial justice issues because I believe that it's critical. I believe that my freedom is bound up in the freedoms of everyone else in this country, of everyone else in this city, and that none of us are free until all of us are free, and that none of us get equality and equity until all of us get equality and equity. So for me, it's about interconnection. It's about this belief that we fight for each other even when we don't always understand each other, and we do it to make sure that each of us, regardless of whatever makes us different or other or not like me or not like you, has the ability to have every single one of the same rights that everybody else has. So again, I'm super excited that all of you are here. I think that this is a really critical and important thing for us to focus on as a city. I'm excited about some of the things that Lana is going to talk about, and she may, I don't know, I'm hoping she says nothing bad about me as she worked for me for a long time. But I think this is an amazing step in the right direction for us as a city to make sure that we are doing all the things that we can to make sure that, as all of this says, we're treating everyone in our city with honesty and integrity and respect and stewardship. Thank y'all very much.